Ooh, Ben Roethlisberger on the footballing podcast. Yeah, you got to know the Western Pennsylvania. That's the whole thing. That's why, Bob, Don. Lawrence Jackson is here, and Roethlisberger talking about that Steeler tradition. And I, off the air, I didn't want Natalie to tell me why she had a problem with it. I see she had a problem with it looking at her feed, but what's the problem, Natalie? What's the problem? What he said made perfect sense to me.
Yeah, she said.
Yeah, well, that part I didn't have issue with. It was the strays, the shots at Mike Tomlin, and questioning, his coaching. Like, that's what I didn't appreciate.
I think you kind of have to question what they're doing. Natalie and Lawrence, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a few weeks ago, I thought they were in a beautiful position. They're 7-4. They got games coming up against the 2-win at the time Arizona Cardinals, the 2-win New England Patriots. Oh, those games must be on the road. No, those games are at home. Oh, you probably are facing the Patriots with Mac Jones. No, you got Bailey Zappi.
But
and you lose. You cannot lose those games at the crib.
They have their own injuries, the Steelers.
Stop it. Those are two bad football teams, and you got a chance to go to 9-4 and really solidify your playoff position. Lawrence, I think it's fair to criticize the coaching a bit.
Well, what's interesting is you go back to that. I think about the Antonio Brown stuff, right? And when Mike Tomlin said, we'll tolerate you as long as we actually have to.
Yep.
The thing about it is they don't really have those type of players on this team. I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I already felt like the Steelers was overachieving. Like, Ben Roethlisberger said a lot of stuff, but I think they should be in the market for a quarterback after this season.
Ooh.
Definitely should be in the market for a quarterback after this season.
Kenny Pickett out.
You've
seen enough.
Huh?
You've seen enough of Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that. Yeah, they need to go. You get the. I would like Jameis Winston on the Steelers right
give me
now.
A better
like
option,
he would
man.
be doing better than what they got going on.
Winston.
They talking about putting Mason Rudolph back in there, and at that point, if you're talking about that. That's where, you can't really question Tomlin in that aspect because, that's who they got on the roster right now. What you can say is, the receiver room, that might be getting out of control a little bit.
Oh, it's out.
So when stuff's starting to go down and the players get to talking and doing all this stuff on the sideline when they ain't reached Antonio Brown's status yet, then at that point, you can kind of say, hey, Mike, get it together. But at the same time, the body of work that this man put in, the longest tenured coach in the league right now, which it's extremely hard to do. We see Bill Belichick finna be on his way out, right? Mike Tomlin gonna be there.
Allegedly. Different story, though.
But they talking about it they not talking about that with Mike Tomlin because they still got a winning record with this quarterback, with this offense, with the injuries they had on defense. They should have beat the Patriots.
They tried to. They tried to give him the game.
Bailey Zappi hit him with them things though. Zeke was eating on him
in the first half. And then it just stopped. So look, Natalie, you said these strays, but isn't it fair to say about Tomlin? All right. And it's not that it's all Tomlin's fault, but this is Tomlin's team. So on defense, you got all those guys. You got Hayward, you got Highsmith, you got T.J. Watt, you got these guys who are outspoken leaders of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have that. Roethlisberger saying you don't have that on offense, and I agree with him. Who's the guy on offense who is just bringing it together? They don't have that. They don't have a leader. So maybe he's trying to say, well, if I were there. They missed. Maybe he's trying to, a long way of saying they missed me.
Okay, but you know what? That's one. That's not on Tomlin solely because, there's a GM. It's their job.
But I don't think he mentioned Tomlin. Are you taking it as a Tomlin criticism?
Yeah, I don't. So,
when he talks about the loss to
the Patriots or the Cardinals?
Yes.
Think about it. We just said that, by the way. The loss to the Patriots.
Yes.
and a loss to the Cardinals. Okay, keep going.
Right, and like that part wasn't in the sound. Like remember, there was like other stuff, but he was taking a coaching shot at Tomlin for sure. And my issue with that is like, it's not him saying things that we all know and recognize about the Steelers. That's all fine. I don't think him in particularly should be taking any shots ever at Tomlin, because you were there with him, right? He was your coach for a number of years.
Okay, now
and
we're
and
Oh, he
hold on.
actually said bad
Yes,
coaching.
that's what I'm saying. And I feel like
What was?
hold on, let me
Go
just
ahead.
I just feel like when you had your issues, right? And you went through your stuff and you brought issues to the Steelers, Mike Tomlin was there.
Okay, I will say this. Just
When
before I just kind of, parachute in on Tomlin and the bad coaching in that game. Okay, that quote, bad coaching. I feel like any athlete, any pro athlete, former pro athlete who is doing any form of media, you either come with it or get out the way.
For sure.
Come with it or get out the way. I don't want to hear, well, I played for this coach. I can't criticize him. This guy was good. This is my organization. If it needs to be said, come with it. If you ain't coming with it, you ain't really doing what we do. And so I mentioned Rodney earlier in jest, but Rodney Harrison, I have so much respect for him. He had been retired for like a day. I know I'm exaggerating. He had been retired for just a little bit. It was 4th and 2, Indianapolis. The Patriots went for it before there was analytics on going for it on 4th down.
Right.
4th and 2 from their own 27. They didn't pick it up. They lose the game. Rodney Harrison probably came to this studio or the studio right down the hall and said, Bill Belichick made a mistake. You can't do that. That's not having faith in your defense. Harrison is cool with Belichick,
That's
but
different.
you gotta say it. Look,
That's different. There's a way you can use your language and your words.
You know
That's
what
different.
happened in that game? Mike Tomlin or someone else mismanaged the timeouts where they're burning timeouts early in the game, and when it came down to it, when the aforementioned Bailey Zappi was trying to cook, he wasn't. They couldn't even stop the clock. They couldn't manage the timeouts because they had blown 2 timeouts early in the second half. When it came down to the last 2 or 3 minutes, they didn't have it. I was texting my buddy in Pittsburgh, still works there. I was like, man, those 2 timeouts are really going to kill him, and that's what happened. So that is bad coaching.
But I get it.
I love Tomlin.
I mean, he could have been talking about it from that particular game. I will say this though, I don't think Tomlin I don't think he'll take no offense to what Ben said. I'm pretty sure these two dudes talk to each other, behind all of this. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like 2 days from now, Ben gonna come out and correct what he said or say, well, I didn't mean this, that, third. I talked to Mike and whoop-de-woo, because that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Well, if you just watch your words initially, because he could have said, I'm surprised that Tomlin did that, because, from what I know from him.
Okay, that's
right,
fair.
I'm just saying it's the phrasing.
Yeah.
So that's just all I took offense to. You've gone to war with this man. He's held you down. I think you can criticize him, but do it in a way that's I don't want to see headlines like that. I don't want to hear stuff like that. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hurt and stung over it because I said the Steelers are going to win the AFC North.
Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
Yeah, because of the schedule.
Did they have Big Ben on the roster?
They had the Cardinals and Patriots on the schedule, though. That schedule.
And the Ravens.
It was a bad take.
That Ravens, they already got to win over the Ravens, though. They already got to.
It was a bad take.
They got. Yeah, okay,
man.
that's true. It was. But it might. No, it was just bad.
Hey, speak to me before you say these things, Holly. Come on.
Right. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.